what I would like to project with this presentation, this brief presentation, is to introduce the IOI, why the IOI was originally set up, what we do nowadays, and our outreach, what we aim to achieve. Some of you might be asking, why, for instance, are the headquarters in Malta? And this goes back to the early days in the 60s, late 60s, when the discussions at the UN, at the United Nations, were centered around the debates on the new law of the sea. At the time, the debates were in progress. Not as much progress had been made as had been hoped. And at this point, in the 1960s, the late 1960s, a specific breakthrough in the philosophy, in the way of thinking about the oceans, was made by the ambassador of Malta to the UN, Arvid Pardo, at the time. I'm sure many of you have heard of the concept of the common heritage of mankind as applied to those areas of the sea beyond the national jurisdiction. And it was this principle which, first of all, maybe contributed to a new understanding of how to implement the law of the sea, how to apply it, how to understand it even philosophically. But it also provided the impetus for Elizabeth Borghese, the founder of the IOI. She herself was a campaigner for environmental justice. But in her work and in her conversations with Arvid Pardo, she realized that this new concept of the common heritage of mankind could provide the kind of access to resources that would allow for equitable and sustainable development of even the most impoverished countries. As a result of these conversations with Arvid Pardo, with many of the other movers and shakers and thinkers and philosophers behind the law of the sea, eventually two main outcomes of concern to us happened. One was the eventual signing and ratification of the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, based on the fundamental principles outlined by Arvid Pardo. And the second was the setting up of the International Ocean Institute, the IOI. It was soon after these debates that Elizabeth realized that once the new law of the sea was ratified, there would be a large obligation on countries, especially some newly formed countries, to allow them to observe, implement, monitor, enforce, and fulfill their duties and obligations towards the requirements of the UNCLOS Convention. So at that point, she realized that a big need for developing capacity, for teaching, for informing stakeholders was necessary. This inspired her to set up the International Ocean Institute in 1972, and that was 50 years ago. And our anniversaries do coincide with a number of other important maritime universities or marine-related universities, ocean universities, anniversaries, which also fall in 22. So 55 years since Arvid's speech, 50 years since the IOI was set up, and 40 years since the adoption of UNCLOS. So it always strikes me how precisely timed with 5-year gaps all these are. What do we do nowadays? We are an international NGO with special consultative status at the United Nations. Our work centers around upholding and expanding the principle of the common heritage of mankind, as it is portrayed in the UN Convention. We do this also by focusing highly on capacity development, training, capacity building, information dissemination around oceans and ocean governance. So you could say we're a knowledge-based institution which has an aim to create knowledgeable future ocean leaders in many ways, as you can see now in my next slides. I will probably not cover everything about the IOI in this brief time I have. So from now, I do invite you to take a look at our website. We are constantly updating this for those of you who are interested either for themselves or for their colleagues. There are many opportunities for training and capacity development events on our website, and I warmly invite you to and welcome you to visit it. So the IOI is a global NGO, and we are very, very fortunate to be able to work through an extended family, because we're family, of centers and focal points all over the world. These are the many arms of the IOI, which continue through their work and through their dedication to carry out this mission, this important mission, started 50 years ago by Elizabeth. We benefit very much from close partnerships, and I know that the people who will speak after my intervention will elaborate on this, but we are very blessed to benefit from a number of strategic partnerships and also from having a large number of alumni and friends of IOI over the years and around the globe. The main products of the IOI in capacity development are the training courses. They've now been established. The longest running training course has been that running in Canada since 1983. We also offer a number of other regional training courses focusing on the regional Cs or the regional C clusters. And over here, I salute IOI South Africa, which has been instrumental in creating and implementing all these years a very, very effective training course focused on the African Seas. So this is another reason why we're here today. And as a very recent, maybe another quiver to the IOI's bow, we have added another level of training or capacity development, if you may, in ocean literacy, which complements these training courses. These training courses are usually, the original IOI training courses are targeted at people who are usually mid-career in ocean-related jobs. And they have been very, very effective, in fact. I know that many of the alumni are here with us today, many of the graduates of these training courses. And they usually run from 4 to 5 weeks. And the audience of these training courses are mid-career practitioners who are ready to go and implement what they learn in their everyday jobs, in their careers. The Ocean Academy, which was launched as a 50th anniversary program, targets a different audience. So I will speak a little bit about it later on. One important thing that the training courses have contributed to over the years, and this is something which, thanks to the intervention, thanks to the dedication of the training course directors, we have been able to do, is that the training courses are continuously upgraded, continuously updated with the latest developments. So as the years roll by and the topics and the issues evolve and become apparent within the ocean sphere, the training courses evolve to meet the needs. They are alive, they are reactive to the situation globally and regionally. We're very, very proud of our family of graduates, and we have approximately 2,000 alumni now over the years from more than 140 countries all over the world. For the alumni, we have a very rich program of continuous professional development and updates. Again, I salute my colleagues here who have been instrumental in providing these professional development courses for our alumni. And if you can look at the bottom of the slide, you can see just visually just how large and how diverse the IOI family is. The Ocean Academy targets is a new program which was launched to celebrate the 50th anniversary, and it targets maybe a different audience if you wish. It is the IOI's ocean literacy program. There is a realization, I think, not just by the IOI, but also certainly among, for example, the UN Decade and many other ocean-related organizations and actions, that it is also important to increase the ocean literacy of people who might not be directly connected career-wise with the ocean. So the IOI's Ocean Academy has been designed to do this. With the help of our colleagues, a number of whom are present here today, we have designed a series, and we offer this series globally. There are 20-hour modules. They aim to introduce the participant, the person following the academy, to the basic concepts of the ocean. They aim to bring into perspective local or regional issues of concern, of importance. They are overseen by the IOI. Now, this is also a way in which our IOI alumni can join us to give back of their knowledge to their communities. And they are open to absolutely anyone who's interested. Since they are online, anyone with even just a smartphone and Wi-Fi can join and follow. So as you can imagine, they are very, very accessible, and they are very, very useful in helping people understand why the ocean and the connection with the climate and their role and their relationship with the ocean is so important. So for us, an excellent outcome of this program has been observing how the people who attended become more aware of, more ocean literate, more knowledgeable about the impact of the ocean on them and their impact of the ocean. That's the definition of ocean literacy. And we also hope they become more empowered to become more active and more concerned to preserve and protect the ocean and to achieve sustainability in their relationships. We've been very successful in the first rollout of this project. Since the first pilot academies in the end of 2021, we've rolled out more than 20 courses, and we expect some 24, 25 plus courses in 2022, already in 13 countries. And we hope that this will pick up and spread far and wide to encourage more people to be more interested in the ocean. I will quickly go through the other things the IOI produces, which are of benefit to the global audience. These are the World Ocean Reviews. They are free, they can be downloaded, and they are very complementary to the other IOI programs. They are theoretically addressed at laypersons, the World Ocean Reviews, and they have a very good bibliography for further reading. The topics are very of the moment. They've been produced since 2010, and the most recent one was launched early this year. They are available in English language and German language, with some publications being translated into secondary languages. So Japanese and Chinese and Thai we've had, and some work in Spanish. So these are all available for anyone who's interested in learning more about the oceans. So as you can see, the aim of the IOI is to make ocean knowledge so much easier to access. We've had in the past as well, and I think it's still running, a massive open online course, One Planet, One Ocean. It's available for anyone to follow. And I can only leave it here because we often say that what does the IOI do? And I think if I had to summarize this, I would say that with the help of our network and our partners and our alumni, over the last 50 years, the IOI has been instrumental in creating knowledgeable future ocean leaders. And I think this is where a big vote of thanks is due to the network, to everyone associated with IOI for making this possible. So it was a bit of a whirlwind tour of the IOI, but you know, I thank you for listening to me, and if you have any questions, I'll be around for a while longer. Please take a look at our website and get in touch with us as well.